You know, perhaps no one will ever know the last straw that motivated a murder-suicide at a Cordova nail station overnight.
But it is the first murder of the year in Shelby County, and it comes just hours before the start of a two-day workshop on domestic violence. Fox 13's senior correspondent Les Smith in the studio with more on this story. Good evening, Les.
Hey, good evening, Greg. You know, in an era when 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce, it's become harder to figure out why affairs of the heart begin or end. But through the same period of time, the number of domestic violence cases have been on the rise in Memphis and the state of Tennessee. Too bad that is not hard to understand. At the closed nail and spa salon in Cordova, the cosmetic process of transforming a scene of mayhem back into the facade of business as usual has begun.
When we arrived on the scene, we found a female deceased inside the nail business. We do have some information in reference to who might have done this.
Unfortunately, it's what apparently couldn't be fixed in the relationship between 45-year-old salon owner Than Van Nguyen and her estranged husband, 51-year-old Jesus Perez, which is the latest reminder of the fatalistic roller coaster of love and hate domestic violence can send into a deadly tailspin, ending in a suspected murder-suicide Monday night.
You'll hear all of us in law enforcement say that time and time again, that domestic violence is a crime that knows no boundaries.
Domestic violence goes beyond just being a criminal issue, but really to understand that it's emotional. There are relationships. You got wives and husbands and girlfriends and boyfriends that built lives together, so that makes it much more challenging.
It's developing a strategy to meet that growing challenge in Memphis and Shelby County. That is the focus of a 2-day planning session hosted by the local Family Safety Center with support from the national organization Family Justice Center Alliance. Alliance President, Californian Casey Gwinn, observed the deaths of Nguyen and Perez should put attention on the needs of domestic violence victims and perpetrators who don't fall into the perceived mainstream ethnic categories of white, black, and Hispanic.
But when you look further and further out into immigrant communities, into other language groups, we find that they don't often get to services. They don't often get into our systems. So we have to work really hard in order to make that happen. Most people still don't know what we're trying to do to help them. And if they don't know, they can't come for help.
Their mission is not to tear apart families. Their mission is not to prosecute and arrest everyone. Obviously, that's a part of what we do, but the mission of the Family Safety Center is hope and healing.
Emotions and feelings, which an estranged couple tragically couldn't find the right fix to mend. And we want to know what you think. This is kind of a tough love question if you think about it. If a couple fails to attend together more than 3 counseling sessions together for domestic violence, should their marriage license be automatically revoked? I think we'd like to hear your comments. Hit us up on your Facebook page. It's My Fox Memphis, where you can enjoy the 2-screen experience, or go to our My Fox Memphis Twitter page for the latest news updates. Les Smith, Fox 13 News.